Welcome everyone. So today's video is based on the three different types of a plant. So first is heterotrophic plant, next insectivorous plants, and thirdly saprophytic plants. So this video based on class 7. So let's see all the three types of a plants one by one. Alright, so students, some plants cannot produce their own food and must obtain their nutrition from outside, and such plants are called as a heterotrophic plants. Now student, these plants do not produce their food, okay, that means they cannot perform photosynthesis process. Why? Because here this is one type of a plant, not a okay, so heterotrophic plants do not contain chlorophyll. As these plants do not contain chlorophyll, that's why they do not perform the process of photosynthesis. And how do the heterotrophic plants live? That means they are not preparing their own food. That means then how these plants can survive? From where do they get food? So let's see. Okay, student, you must have seen a yellow wire-like leafless climber plant growing on a big tree. So what is its name? So its name is cuscuta. So this is a type of a creeper which growing on the another woody plant. Okay, and the plant's body that grow on the body of the another plant to obtain food are called as a parasitic plant. Okay, so these cuscuta plant growing on another type of a plant, another body of a plant, and that's why this is called as a parasitic plant, and it will obtain all its nutrition from that woody plant. Okay, and due to the absence of chlorophyll, the cuscuta is completely dependent on the host plant. Now host plant means on the plant on which cuscuta is growing. Okay, and hence it is said to be a completely parasitic plant. It means it is completely, totally dependent on the host plant. Okay, and student, you must have also noticed loranthus that grows on a tree, and this is loranthus is another type of a parasitic plant which is growing on the another plant. Okay, so which part of the loranthus plant carries out photosynthesis? So this is a loranthus plant and it mainly grows on the mango tree. Okay, so loranthus is a parasitic plants that grow on the branches of a woody plant, and the thick green leaves which are able to manufacture foods through the process of photosynthesis. So another question, why is loranthus known as a partially parasitic plant? Now this is partially parasitic plant, and the example which we have seen in previous slide, that is cuscuta. The cuscuta was completely parasitic plant, but the loranthus, this is called as a partially parasitic plant. So why this is called as partially parasitic plant? Because the loranthus is called as a partially parasitic plant because it can perform photosynthesis, okay, but is dependent on the host plant for minerals and water. So it can perform photosynthesis, that's why it is called as a partially parasitic plant, and it develops on a trees like mango. It ingests mineral and water from host plant through sucking roots called haustoria. That means the minerals and water, loranthus plant takes in minerals and water from its sucking roots called as a haustoria. So haustoria are the sucking roots through which the loranthus plant take inside water and mineral from the mango tree or from the host plant. And due to the presence of chlorophyll in the leaves of the loranthus plant with the obtained minerals and water, it perform photosynthesis. That means the minerals and water which is taken by the woody plant, it used for performing the process of photosynthesis, and that's why it is called as a partially parasitic plant, and thus it is considered as a partial parasitic. Okay, so student, what is this? Is this a plant? Yes, this is a plant, and these are the plant, and these plants are called as a insect insectivorous plants. You are looking on the slide and you can observe it, that is these plants ingesting or digesting insects. Okay, and the first picture is the Venus flytrap plant, and next type of a plant is a sundew plant. Okay, so let's see what are the insectivorous plants. All right, so these are the insectivorous plant, and insectivorous means insect eating plant, and these plant obtain most of their nutrition from the insect that they trap and consume. You can observe in alongside picture that these plants are taking inside the insect, and they will obtain their nutrition from that insect. Okay, and that is why they trap and digest. That means first they will trap the insect which will sit on the plant, and then it will digest insect to absorb its nutrition. Okay, so this is a Drosera burmani plant, and this is another type of a insectivorous plant. Okay, so the plant body of the Drosera burmani has a flower like appearance. Okay, and it grows close to the ground. Its leaves are attractively pink or red in color, with the hairs are margin. You can observe in alongside diagram, it has a pink or red in color with hairs at the margin, and droplets of a sticky substance found at the tips of the hair attract the insect. You can observe the pink hair like structure are attracting the insect, and when insect will sit on them, they will trap them and consume them as a nutrition. Okay, so droplets of a sticky substance found at the tips of the hairs attract the insect, and the scientist Johns Burman identified this plant in Sri Lanka in 1737, and hence the plant is named after him. So this was all about the insectivorous plant. Okay, so why does the pitcher plant feed on insect even though it produces food by photosynthesis? That means, so this is a green type of a plant, that means pigment chlorophyll is present in them, and they will prepare their photosynthesis, but then only they will feed on the insect. So why? Let's see the answer. So the pitcher plant contains chlorophyll and hence carry out photosynthesis to obtain their food. Plants also need, but they will prepare their photosynthesis, but plants also need nitrogen and minerals. So the pitcher plants live in region low in nitrogen and minerals, which is why they consume insect. That means for growing the plant, apart from the photosynthesis, the nitrogen and minerals are also required. Okay, so these pitcher plant are growing in such a region where the region low in nitrogen and minerals. That's why they will they will trap the insect just to take the nitrogen and minerals from that insect, and that's why they are feeding on insects also. Alright, so next type is the plants which obtain the food from dead and decaying bodies of other organisms are called as a saprophytic plant. Okay, so student, various types of fungi like mushroom and yeast are saprophytes. You can observe in alongside diagram, various type of fungi like mushroom and yeast are saprophytes. Okay, so fungi secrete digestive enzyme on the dead remains to digest or break down the carbon compound they contain, and the resulting solution is absorbed to obtain the nutrient. Okay, so student, always remember food gets spoiled due to some fungi, and some fungi cause diseases also or illness, while some fungi have medicinal properties. So both are there. That means some fungi are good for our health also. That means some fungi have medicinal property, but some fungi can cause us diseases also. Okay, and yeast and some mushroom are useful. We can eat them. Okay, we are eating the mushroom. Okay, so yeast is used in the fermentation process and for making bread, and mushroom are a rich source of iron and vitamins. That's why we have to add this in our daily diet also, because these are very good. Mushrooms are rich source of iron and vitamins. So student, I hope you all have understood today's topic, and next part of the lesson we can continue in our next session. Thank you all of you.